All right. I just kind of watched the Sony conference, and wow, that's all I have to say. But before I get to, I actually start with Sony. I'm actually going to start with Ubisoft because in this video is just going to be my thoughts and reactions about the Ubisoft conference along with the Sony conference. So first thing I'm gonna do is kind of start with Ubisoft and with their little titles and everything they kind of talked about, and from what I saw from the live stream that I actually watched. So the list of games that they actually had was because I'm actually trying to go through Ubisoft as quickly as I can because Sony had like a lots of games and that I want to kind of talk about and all the games that they kind of showed and this, that, and the other. So continuing on, for Ubisoft was they kind of kicked off this live stream with the game called Rocksmith 2014 with actually some kind of demonstration or kind of demo with the guy actually playing the guitar and just to show how the game works and everything. So it kind of makes me think of like the games like Rock Band and Guitar Hero a little bit for Rocksmith 2014. I guess it's gonna be something like that, but maybe it's gonna be a little bit advanced or something. They also showed right after they showed Splinter Cell Blacklist gameplay, Rayman Legends, something. I think I missed out on some kind of game. I kind of missed the title. I think it was like Epic something or Mighty Warriors or something. I don't know what the title was called, but maybe I kind of comment on the video to kind of get that title included as well because I kind of missed out on that title or whatever it was called. Next, they showed South Park's The Stick of Truth. The Crew, they showed really like the gameplay for that, The Crew, and demonstrations of it. And it was a pretty long demo. And I think that kind of took most of the time for Ubisoft's conference, that they kind of showed a long gameplay. And it was kind of like a long demo of The Crew, which is pretty much a racing game or some sort with kind of like the obstacle and different courses that you can actually go. My phone was actually going off there, but I'll get to that later. But the Crew is actually like a long video. I mean, a demo. Somebody's calling me right now, but I'm kind of sorry about phone. Sorry about that. But The Crew is like a long demo that took most of Ubisoft's kind of their conference time, and it was pretty sweet. But it kind of took most of the time. But in regards to like other games and kind of lacking the gameplay there for the conference itself. So next they kind of showed like a trailer for the Watch Dogs, and then uh, it was Just Dance 2014, and then another Raven Rabbids game, which was called Rabbids Invasion, or maybe Rabbids TV. Uh, then it was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. They didn't really show too much of that. I guess it was like another trailer for the newest Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, or whatever you want to call it. And then they showed Trails Fusion for the next gen consoles that will actually be released for the PS4 and the Xbox One. And then another game which was called Trials Frontier, as they call it Trails for some reason. But Trials Frontier will be for the mobile devices like your mobile phones or your smartphones or anything like that. For it will be available for just mobile devices, and yes, I guess for like mobile games or maybe just pretty much for the phone mobile devices pretty much. And then Trials Fusion will be just on the next gen consoles. And then last but not least, they actually showed Tom Clancy's The Division, which is I think it's like a MMO for next gen consoles that look pretty sweet. I didn't know if it was I thought it was like Rainbow Six Vegas or something like that, but once they kind of showed like multiple players in the games, I like the closing of the game when they was actually showing the gameplay itself of Tom Clancy's Division, I kind of knew it was like it was gonna be an MMO. But that was pretty much all the games that they kind of showed for the Ubisoft's conference. So in my opinion, I actually liked Ubisoft's conference a little bit better than Xbox One's conference because I think they showed. I know they showed like probably a little bit more games, but I think they kind of did a little bit better on showing like more gameplay. And I don't really think that Xbox One, even though I didn't really watch the conference, but I don't think they kind of really showed too much gameplay as compared to Ubisoft's conference. But I really enjoyed both conferences, and Ubisoft did just as good as EA as well as Xbox One. But I kind of like Ubisoft's a little bit better than the other two. So next up was I just kind of recently just kind of saw Sony's E3 conference, which was kind of fresh in my head as well. So I have like a long list of games here that I kind of written down all the way down. I don't know. I know you guys can't really see it, but it's like a full page of games. So I'm gonna try to go through all the games that they kind of show, and then I'll just kind of give my thoughts and opinions of what I liked, and maybe some of the surprises that I actually witnessed and I wasn't actually experiencing. I wasn't expecting to actually kind of show during the conference. So first they kind of kicked off the show with their intro, which is pretty cool, and from the beginning of the Sony conference, they kicked off with showing just like Vita games, and a couple of them that I kind of listed was Batman Arkham Origins, which was also like, it's not only a Vita game, but it's also going to be coming out for the next gen PS4 console, which was also pretty sweet too. And they actually showed like a trailer, a unique trailer. It looked pretty real and stuff, and pretty much compared to almost like Arkham City, Batman Arkham Asylum, and Arkham City, which is pretty much on a level of graphics as Batman Arkham City, just as good, but just much more crisp and more polished and more real, more realistic, almost like you were watching like a Batman movie or something on TV. So they had Batman Arkham Origins for the Vita, Doki Doki Killzone, and then they showed Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2 for also for the Vita, Dead Nation, and then it was also announced that they're actually coming out with Walking Dead: A Thousand Words for the Vita. I think that was another Vita title for upcoming Vita games. So those are all the Vita games that's actually coming out for the PS Vita. I still didn't get a Vita yet because it was kind of a lack of games for the PS Vita, and I kind of decided to get the 3DS over the Vita because it was much more games that kind of appealed to me for the 3DS, the Nintendo 3DS instead of the Vita. So I decided to get like the 3DS over the Vita, and I have yet to get a Vita because it's still like a lack of games. But the games that they kind of showed kind of made me appeal to, and made me want to actually go out and get a Vita this time, and maybe in the near future they come out and just kind of get pick up some games to get the actual handheld console itself. So so after those were pretty much all the Vita games they showed. So now next they what I actually think they did was during this conference that they actually kicked off with just like the current gen systems and all the new titles that's coming out for the current gen systems and everything. Like they actually kicked off with the Vita, just like I just talked about with the Vita games, and now they have PS3 games that are actually coming out for it for in the near future for future titles. So they also, for the PS3, they actually showed the Last of Us trailer, which is coming out this Friday, which is just a newest trailer for the gameplay and just the trailer and how the game's going to look and how the game plays and everything. So I know that everybody was pretty much expecting The Last of Us and knows about that. The Puppeteer, Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and then Gran Turismo 6 and Batman Arkham Origins, which is going to be, I don't know if that's going to be for the next gen or maybe the PS3, but I already know it's going to be a Vita title as well. And then those are pretty much all for all the current gen systems for the PS3, that there's the titles that's coming out for the PS3. I don't know for sure, are those the next gen console games, or maybe they're going to be for both current gen and next gen consoles. I don't know that for sure. So then now we have was just like, they actually revealed the system itself, which was pretty cool. It actually kind of reminded me how it looked. It looked pretty cool how it was designed, but I'm glad it wasn't too big of a system. It kind of made me think of like the PS3 Super Slim that I actually have, like this PS3 Super Slim, just like a little bit, just about the size of that, of a Super Slim or something. And I'm glad it's kind of not. It wasn't that big. I mean, actually, it's like carryable in your hands and stuff, so you ain't gotta kind of carry a big kind of giant box when you go to get like the PS4 or something or whatever you choose to get. But it looked great, and it looked great. The presentation looked great with the controller and everything. Just how how it's displayed on the stage and everything. So after they kind of showed revealed the PS4 and everything, they of course they came out with the next gen titles that are actually going to come out with it. So they came out with, and they kind of started with the Order 1886 Killzone Shadowfall trailer with some gameplay clips here and there. Drive Club, Knack, Infamous Second Son, The Dark Sorcerer, Transistor, I think it's Transistor or whatever. Diablo 3, and then Final Fantasy 15, or maybe it was Final Fantasy 14. I don't know which one it was, and a surprise leak about a surprise little trailer of Kingdom Hearts 3, which was my personal favorite of how they kind of that was the biggest surprise to me, because I thought that was just, I heard about a rumor about like leak information about rumors about the Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out. So that was pretty surprising to me, and I was really excited about that once I saw it, because as soon as I saw Disney come up on the screen, I knew it was going to be Kingdom Hearts right off the bat. But I just didn't know for sure, because I thought it was going to be like an HD remake, but they actually showed also the HD remake that's coming out later this year as well. But they showed that Kingdom Hearts 3 is actually in the development from Square Enix. So next they had Assassin's Creed Black Flag. They actually had gameplay from that, which was the very difference, the difference from between all the other conferences, that they actually showed gameplay from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So that was the main thing that I actually found out was pretty much different from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, other than the other conference that they did for Sony's press conference. Watch Dogs gameplay, they actually had gameplay for this game, more gameplay and newer like hands-on experience from just watching on the screen how the game is going to be like. Maybe just like they had a demo up on screen and just like the game. NBA 2K14, and they also had Elder Scrolls Online. I thought this was going to be like another Elder Scrolls game, but I guess it's going to be an online only game or something, or just with Elder Scrolls, like Skyrim, pretty much online. And then Mad Max, and then last but not least was Destiny, which was the last game they actually showed with 2-player action, co-op during completing like a mission or something. And that was pretty much it for all the games. And then I also want to kind of talk about the stream. The stream was kind of laggy at some parts, and some parts it would kind of buffer a little bit, but it kind of got better as it got towards the end. So I kind of had a little trouble, and I kind of missed out on some of the stuff. Well, I didn't miss out on anything, but it was kind of jumping ahead and kind of skipping some information. I kind of really couldn't, like, for example, I couldn't finish like watching like Mad Max for some reason. The gameplay about the trailer for Mad Max, some of the trailers for the stream was actually lagging and kind of jumping and kind of buffering here and there, so I had a little trouble there. Kind of watching the rest of the gameplay there and the kind of presentation about it, so I didn't really know what Mad Max was really until it actually displayed the title. I just saw the title on the screen, and I kind of missed out on the whole trailer and the gameplay if they showed any. But some key information that I actually found out about Sony conference that I really think that kind of made me happy about getting the system and made me kind of lean more towards the PS4 was it actually supports used games. You could trade in the games. It's your rights. You actually own your own games. Like once you buy the game, it's yours. You can sell it. You can trade it in. You can sell it to your friend and do whatever you want with the game. And that's what I think that they really kind of hit those core and key factors, and they kind of brought like most of those. Maybe you wanted the Xbox, but now since they you can't really have those rights, those little game rights once you buy a video game from your local GameStop or whatever your local game store is. You don't have those rights for the Xbox, but now you actually have those for the PS4 and the Sony conference, and I think that's where they really kind of delivered, not only with the gameplay and everything, but just what I liked about it is that you actually still have those rights, and you can still play used games, and you can trade them in. You pretty much can do whatever you want with your game. It's yours. So, and they announced the price, which was in my opinion, I think that was the best news ever. Was it's actually $400, and it's $100. It's $100 less difference. It's $100 difference between the Xbox One and the PS4. So the PS4 is now $400 for pickup, which is pretty decent. And that's what I was kind of predicting. That was my little price prediction for the system itself. But anyway, I really enjoyed the conferences today, and I want to see what Nintendo's got to offer next. So I'm definitely going to get a PS4 though now, since they actually have all the information that I wanted to know, like the price and everything. And you still have those used games rights. So that's pretty much my decision. I think I'm going to actually get a PS4 over the Xbox One. And when I do get an Xbox One, if I decide to get one, it'll probably just be like a lot cheaper than what it is, because $500 isn't kind of cutting it for me. And then some of the issues that it has kind of made me lean towards the other direction, towards PS4. So I really enjoyed the stream and all the conferences today. I had a lot of fun watching E3, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and tuning in. So feel free to comment what you guys thought about the conferences today and what systems you guys might want to get.